So what inspired your look? Kindly just tell us the audience and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so since some time I've been reading about issues, and one of the main issues being faced are by the khadi weavers. So from my last birthday, I've thought that once a week I'll wear khadi. So that's one reason why I'm wearing khadi, and also this is usually considered a formal wear in politics. So that also suits me.
And whenever anyone in the 18 to 21, everyone likes politics, but no one wants to be in the politics.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I want to become a hero, I want to become a politician, are the very common statements.
Yes.
They say అప్పట్లో బుట్టో టైప్స్ కానీ ఎవడు కాడు కానీ బట్ హౌ డిడ్ యూ టేక్ దట్ స్టెప్ ఆఫ్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఎంటరింగ్ ఇన్ టు వన్
I think I'm a in Telugu they call భయంకరమైన ఆశావాది అంటారు. సో
ఎటర్నల్ ఆప్టిమిస్ట్ అని నా ఫేస్బుక్లో రాసుకున్నాను మొన్న ఇంగ్లీష్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్.
So yeah, so I'm one of them, and I believe I'll at least succeed at the end. So అంటే చాలా మంది they quit trying. I think that's the trend. That's why you don't see a lot of good people coming till the end.
Because this is almost like, you know, I whenever I talk to a lot of people, there are very hatke professions or hatke people, misfits చేస్తుంటాం మనం. కానీ పాలిటిక్స్ ఇస్ జస్ట్ ఏ పీక్. ఇప్పుడు సరే నేను యూట్యూబ్లో వీడియో చేసుకుంటా అంటే ఇద్దరు ముగ్గురు తిడతారు టైప్స్ ఒప్పుకుంటా, వాళ్ళని ఫేస్ చేస్తాం ఏదో అవుతుంది. కానీ సడన్గా పాలిటిక్స్లోకి పోవాలనుకున్నాం అనుకో లిటరలీ తిట్టుడే. ఎట్లా మేనేజ్ చేసినావు దాన్ని?
The first time when I've told my parents that I'll take up politics as a full-time career, my mother was like, ఇంటి నుంచి గెంటేస్తా కాలేర కొడతా అన్నారు.
కాలేర కొడతా.
So that was
ఏ
the
ఊరన్నా
first.
మీది? ఏ ఊరు మన?
వరంగల్ చెప్పినావు కదా.
వరంగల్. అదే మన వ్యూవర్స్ కి పాపం తెలియదు కదా. వరంగల్ అంటే ఫస్ట్ చెప్పడానికి ఇంటి నుంచి వెళ్ళగొడతా అన్నారా?
అంటే if ever I take up that option is what they thought.
So
అప్పటికి నేను వాళ్ళకి calm down చేయడానికి for that time being, that was when I was in 2-1 of college. So that's when I thought I'll take up politics as a career. Then I told them అప్పటికి వాళ్ళని కూల్ డౌన్ చేయడానికి నేను సివిల్స్ కోసం ప్రిపేర్ అవుతా, అందుకే ఈ ఫీల్డ్లో కొద్దిగా ఏదో ఒక వర్క్ చేసుకుంటా ఉంటా అని చెప్పిన. I just convinced them that I'll go for civil, so let me continue working in the social sector.
In my own research I found out that you are one of the very few guys BITS లాంటి prestigious college లో చదివి ప్రాక్టీస్ స్కూల్ అనే ఇంటర్న్షిప్ పాలిటిక్స్ సైడ్ ఇంటర్న్షిప్ చేసిన వన్ ఆఫ్ ద వెరీ ఫ్యూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ యువర్ ద ఓన్లీ పర్సన్?
I think I was the first one to do it. దాని తర్వాత there's another batchie of mine who's a dual degree student, then took up another internship with the Ministry of Civil Aviation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was the first experience of from a student level to stepping into active kind of an internship role? What was the different and what was your mindset? అప్పుడు ఎట్లా అనిపించింది అప్పుడు?
అంటే one thing I used to always think was I'm very glad that at a very young age organization lo kuda I think I was the youngest when I was intern.
What was the organization?
Vision India Foundation is the organization.
It's based out of Delhi. Okay.
Yeah, so
what was your role as an intern appudu?
So I was planning their programs. They have programs, educational programs on public policy named as Good Governance Yatra anokati, public policy boot camp anokati. So there are summer schools or winter schools to learn public policy for youth like me.
So in your very small age, at your very small age, you have seen lots of politicians in a very close quarters.
Yes.
Because you've been a public policy, you've been framing policies or documents, manifestos and stuff. వాళ్ళు కూడా మనలాంటి వాళ్ళేనా? అంటే మనలానే ఉంటారా? సినిమాలలో చూపించినట్టు అన్నట్లు ఉంటారా? లేదా మా యూత్ కి చాలా మందికి ఒక పొలిటీషియన్ అంటే తెలియదు.
నేనేంటంటే ఐ సెలెక్టివ్లీ చూజన్ హూ ఐ వాంట్ టు వర్క్ ఫర్. ఐ డెంట్ వాంట్ విత్ మై ప్రీ రీసెర్చ్ I've opted to work with only good people who are actually having some good intentions. That's I think pretty visible on camera or their past history. So all those who have worked with at least are very encouraging of new ideas. Kani oka kotta youth raavadam gani all were very supportive to me, and even they appreciated me taking this initiative to come into politics at a very young age. So that's one reason why they give me more రెస్పెక్ట్.
ఎందుకంటే మన దగ్గర ఉన్న పెద్ద పెద్ద లీడర్స్ మన ఇండియాలో వాళ్ళు స్టూడెంట్ లెవెల్లో లీడర్స్ లాగా స్టార్ట్ అయిన వాళ్ళే
ఉన్నారు.
చాలా మంది.
Yes.
కానీ ఈ మధ్యలో చాలా తగ్గిపోయింది. ఎందుకంటే either you have to be completely different or very very minority people అక్కడి నుంచి వస్తున్నారు. So what was your confidence or what were is your self talk in that phase of time when you're taking a very critical step, leaving aside a very glamorous career, because you're coming from a prestigious institution, obviously you would have had lots of glamorous opportunities also. Yeah.
So what I always think was, I don't know, I always want to take the road less taken, as you were mentioning previously. So already that too, because I come from an institute like BITS, where there are a lot of seniors who have taken different career paths. It might not be politics. There are some people already also in politics, but it gives a freedom to explore and go to places. So I thought, let's take the best opportunity. Let's make the best use of the opportunity and go that way.
The first step was the leading a fee protest thing in BITS.
Yeah.
That was a time where it was almost like the Eureka movement, or you were mentally preparing before that also, or you used that as an opportunity?
No, actually, first step for me in this direction was actually the student union elections.
Okay.
So I've lost 2 elections in BITS, one as a hostel representative, one as a president of the student union. Both of them I've lost, but again, the fee hike thing, I've actually planned to protest against the institute the semester before the actual protest happened, and that's one reason why everyone also wanted to accept me as a leader when it came to the day of protests, because they knew that I was working on this for some time.
And how do you define a leader as such? Like, let's say there's a leader and a word key, because you've been seeing different leaders in your journey. As a young person talking to other young people here, who is a leader to you?
I think a leader is one who has an end vision. One, I think he's one who also encourages other youngsters to take up roles and delegate work to them and get the work done. And I think one with a very good value system. I think these three are the ones which I consider while
the 3 qualities which define a leader.
Yeah, according to me.
So if Sidhartha Namburi says like, okay, who is your favorite political leader, and which name pops on your mind for the first top in the list?
I think there's no favorite as such, I can say, but everyone has I like every leader on their own, in one of their what do you say, attributes. Yeah. So suppose, for example, Narendra Modi, he's I actually believe he's a man with a vision, long-term vision, and he's a man with a very good oratory skills, coming from a very poor background and going up to that level. But I think in that aspect, I respect him a lot for giving entire life to the country. But there's other aspect where he doesn't delegate work. At least in governance, most of the work in India currently happens through the PMO only. Every ministry needs to take approval from the PMO before doing anything. So that's a centralization thing which some other people have.
You feel more decentralization should be done in that area.
Yeah.
So let's say now going forward, like let's say, how do you see your political journey going forward? Next 5 years or 10 years, what's your decade plan?
So decade plan in politics, I think it's very tough to have decade plans and lifelong plans, because things don't easily work out the way you want. So I think you should have short-term goals, and I think you need to have a long-term vision on what change you want to bring, irrespective of which position you are. So I think the change I want to bring is to make farmers' lives better.
Any steps towards that? Like, did you start any activities?
So I've been doing my research to understand what the issues are, how it can be made profitable, what are the governance mechanisms existing, how are they working now, how can they be made better. So now I'll need to work on which area I'll need to attach myself and start working.
Because going back to the protest thing also, because I feel that was the movement which defined your future course of things.
Yes.
It was one of the so in a way where it was almost like You had those ideology, you had the thought process, but I would like to listen more about what can be a good protest, because there is something, a protest should be done in a way, and the way you guys handled it was one of the best things,
Yeah.
because it would have gone into someone else's hands and you didn't allow it to go into someone else's hands. And I still remember in those days talking to different students how a chancellor or a vice chancellor was trying to provide coolers and everything for the people who were protesting.
Yeah.
It was very funny to listen to that, but that shows the kind of leadership that you guys portrayed in that whole scheme of things. So, what is a good protest according to you, and how a protest should be done?
I think that point of a good protest is one point which made our protest stay long and at least get some positive results out of it, because I've always, since this day one of the protest, I've always advocated to the use of non-violent practices, no bad words on the director or the vice chancellor or the chancellor, or even the
Even they are employees too.
yeah, even they are employees too, and they're working for us at the end. They're not getting money out of our fee, but they're maybe the way we are saying it happened is better than what they are doing right now. So that's why we are trying to protest and get things changed in our way. So what we did is to try out innovative method every day and show that to the alumni, so that we can get the continuous support from them.
Can you tell us any example? What was the ways which you have employed?
Yeah. So I'll tell you two examples here. One was we started something called I don't remember the name which we used then, but what we did was we put a glass bowl outside the vice chancellor's office, and we asked every Bitchian to form a line and then drop a 1 rupee coin or 2 rupees coin, 3 rupees coin, and just walk through. So I think 2,000 of them stood in a line, dropped coins, and then went ahead. I think this innovative, and that was outside the vice chancellor's office. And the later day when I went to the director's office, he said, first remove it. It is irritating the vice chancellor. So I think I don't need to shout against him. I don't need to.
To bring the change, you used the change.
Yeah. Actually, we called it change for a change.
Change for a change. Okay.
Drop change for a change.
But never in change in Telugu, it is known as chillara. Chillara kaakunda marchirremo. Good.
So that was one, and then because the results have not yet come, there was no positive result from the administration. People were slowly moving away or getting back to their studies or things like that. Then again, we'll have to do something else to keep them motivated. So what we did was we tried to counter the administration's point of view. They were saying that you're damaging the name of BITS by doing protests on campus and things like that. So what we did was we made a very big 100-meter tall human chain of our clock tower.
Okay.
So what we did, we drew the same image of the clock tower in our football ground, and we asked people to stand on the borders and put on their torchlights to the top. Through the drone cameras, we pictured it came out as an exact picture of our clock tower. See.
Okay.
So we actually are very proud of the clock tower image which we have, because that's usually every institute has their iconic building. So we consider that as our iconic building. So what we tried to communicate was that irrespective of our fights with the administration and the director or the vice chancellor, at the end we are proud of being Bitsians.
It's a very great initiative, like whatever initiative which you took. Because the reason why I was stressing more than on that, it's like it's not about protest as protest, but lots of students should know a protest can be done in a very dignified way also, and you can ask for your demands in a very right sense too. So how tough it is, like coming from a non-political family and joining politics in the mainstream, because you didn't contest in a public format, but you have stood behind people who were contesting.
Yes.
Because we are not getting into the whole journey of that. Here I wanted to talk about the individual here. Yes. So how tough it is to get into a politics from a non-political family or apolitical
I
situation?
think getting into politics it's very easy, but winning in politics is the toughest part, right? So there are a lot of individuals already contesting as independents, getting 500 votes, 1000 votes, and trying to bring change in a very small way. I think these people are also able to decide the way how the elections work, because even many places, even 2000 votes and 3000 votes, the result changes. So that's by going as an independent. But if you want to bring an active change, you need to be elected. So I think that's where the toughest part comes in, and usually it's a very tough when you are inside and you are very unclear about how to go ahead in the path of politics, because nowhere everywhere people around you are very seniors. They have been in the party or in the system since the past 20-25 years, or they're coming from uh,
Political
politically background
families and stuff.
families or things like that. So you need to here I think you need to have one is a very good mentor who believes in you, very good leader who believes in you, who can also support you in your decisions, who can keep guiding you on how to go ahead, and good value system on who you want to be associated with all time.
Any suggestions of, like, if you want someone, a student wants to know more about politics or any courses to be done, and one message to the students that who wants to join politics? Now, what are the prerequisites according to you? Because now you have seen the two sides of the fence.
Yes,
You might have had a very different vision when you were in BITS.
yes,
Now you are more a matured individual, whatever the shorter the experience it might be, but you have crossed the line.
yes.
So, what are the prerequisites that a student should have who wants to look at politics as a serious profession, and what he needs to do before as a pre-work kind of a thing?
I think I'll have 3-4 points over here. First would be to be generally aware about what problems they want to work on and what do they want to achieve by entering into politics. So whether you want to work on the urban development path, or whether you want to work on rural development or agriculture or healthcare, or which sector are you focusing on, and what is the main issue that affects you? Because I think that problem, the existence of the problem itself motivates you to work. So if you're not clear about which problem you want to solve, I think you can't sustain for a long term in this field. So that's one thing. Second thing is obviously convincing the family that you can do it with good intentions, and third thing is you need to be financially stable. So you can't just live without any money in politics, because if you want to contest, you'll need money. If not in crores, at least you need to pay at least your volunteers, or pay for food, or some basic expenses, right? So at least I think they should start their own small venture which can sustain their political activity as well. So that if ever they have to maintain their whole family also, they'll need to have some basic source of income, because donations are not easily given, at least in India, for budding politicians.
Right.
And the next two things are, as I said, the value system, and the final thing is you need a personal support system for you. So if ever you're failing, or if ever you're confused, or any matter outside politics also, because in every different alternative profession there are a lot of tough times.
Correct.
So in tough times you need to have good friends, or good or it might be a family, or some people who you can go to whenever you want. So I think these are the things which are required, and then after these, then they can whenever they have time, I think they should go and explore, go onto the ground, do internships, fellowships, work, or at least do things online, do policy research. A lot of opportunities available in this space now, so that one can enter. After entering, then again, based on what they want to do, I think they can.
As your name suggests, it is Sidharth. Sidharth is someone who follows his heart, and all the best for your pursuit. And hope our audience or our viewers also feel like this will be the first interview of you. In future, when you become a public representative, they'll watch this video how Sidharth was then. So we will just have that online for you. And Thanks for your time. Thanks for taking time out. I appreciate your work and all the best. Stay connected for the time.